welcome back. I think last time we were on the water, but now we're not on the water.
I ran back and healed.
Derek's dual wielding right now. He's dual fisting those Joy-Cons. Much like those other things he dual wields.
Oh my.
Swords. The fuck are you people thinking?
Oh, dude, I gotta get this Staryu.
Well, we already caught him.
Shh, I need all of the Staryus. This one's huge.
I need all the Staryus. You know, you could just put that controller down instead of holding it. Like, it wouldn't...
I was dual
it
wielding.
would add nothing.
Swords.
It adds nothing to your bullshit. Do 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 do.
Oh, dude, that Snorlax. He's getting so big.
He's becoming a Snorlax.
He's becoming a Snorlaxo.
Snorlax. Oh, so... Last night?
I beat that one, did I get this guy? I think so. Last night?
Yeah, I guess technically it was last night.
The other night.
Last night they had this thing called the Creator Clash, or Clash of Creator. I think it was Creator Clash.
Clash of Clans?
No, they just got a whole bunch of YouTubers to, like, box each other.
Oh my god,
And
this is amazing.
they made it a show, and it was like... And I wasn't looking forward to it. In fact, I don't think anyone was looking forward to it. However...
It was amazing.
They did have Aaron Egoraptor Hansen go up against a boxing match against Charlie from Epic Mealtime.
Oh boy.
And I really wanted to see Aaron get punched in the face. So I did check out that fight.
Okay.
And it went exactly how I expected it to go.
Which was?
Where Aaron got punched in the face a lot, and then the ref had to stop the fight because he was getting punched in the face too much.
He was getting his ass handed to him?
Yes. In fairness, so the problem is that there's a problem with boxing. I stand by this being a problem in boxing, and they probably should add a super heavyweight class, but they just don't. They just refuse to. Mm-hmm. And it's in boxing, anyone over 200 pounds is just a heavyweight class.
Which, that's like most people.
Yeah,
who are into sports.
No, that's like not most people who are into boxing.
Boxing.
The heavyweight division is kind of like a
catch-all.
Yeah. The problem is that it's anyone who's 200 pounds and over. So the problem with that is that, like, if you're 201 pounds, you have to fight someone who's 400 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is a problem.
It's kind of stupid. So they did the weigh-in, and Aaron... I forget the exact numbers, but it was, like, almost a 60-pound difference, and I'm just like, Aaron is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way Aaron's gonna win this.
Fucked.
Because he's, like... And Aaron's a tall person, but Harley is even taller than Aaron is. So he had the height advantage, the reach advantage, the weight advantage. I was like, there's no way Aaron is winning this fucking fight. Also, Charlie actually spent the past, like, 6 months actually training with someone who knows how to box, and I'm pretty sure Aaron just read books on it and occasionally went to the gym. So he stood no chance from, like, he stood no chance from literally minute one of winning that shit.
Yeah, I mean...
But...
Yeah.
But... I am happy that he went in there. And he lasted one round, which is actually better than I thought was going to happen. I thought for sure he was going to get his shit kicked in round one, and just it was going to be over. But he lasted the full first round, and then lost in round two, so I'll give him that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him that.
He did better than I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to be willfully unprepared, but he actually looked like he did get some level of training, and he didn't look like a deer in headlights the whole fight, so...
Yeah,
at least
we'll take it.
Like, his problem is that he was trying to do the whole bob and weave thing, you know, where he was trying to, like, bait them to punch, and then he, like, ducks out of it and goes for a counter. The problem is that he was dodging too much at fakes, which then let him very easily be punched in the face for real when he went to dodge the punch. And that was really fucking him up.
Yeah.
It was a good attempt, though. That's like the biggest problem with boxing is when you're a rookie is like you're so concerned with not getting punched in the face that you tend to like way over getting out of the way of a punch. Like there was one point where he went to like duck a punch that never came, and Charlie literally just fucking like jabbed him while he was in the middle of ducking.
Yeah.
Like what do you with the biggest like what are you doing?
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't just dodge for no reason, because then I'm just going to punch you while you're dodging.
Yeah, people don't seem to understand that. And it's very true.
You could tell they were all like willfully well, there was
Most of
you
them.
could tell most of them were willfully unprepared, and then you could tell the ones that have boxed a couple times beforehand because it was very obvious which ones were like actually trained already and which ones had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. Boxing is one of those sports where everybody's just like, you're just boxing, it's not that difficult. And it's just like, there's a bit more to boxing than you think.
Boxing isn't that difficult as a concept. Punch them and don't get punched.
But being good at
But
boxing.
being good at boxing is a totally different fucking story.
And this is why sports fights are such a thing.
Yeah.
Because watching someone who's... Well, let me just rephrase that. Not even just boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's just solely... Like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Anybody who's, like, incredibly dedicated and perfect at their craft,
Yeah.
watching them do anything is, like, impressive.
Yes. The whole thing with it is, so I did check out the card and saw who boxed and who won, and pretty much everyone I expected to won with one exception. And that's because the guy who he went up against was actually slightly trained as a boxer, and I didn't think he had any boxing experience whatsoever. And the guy who he was going up against didn't, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, now I see what this lost. But I didn't think he had any experience at all. So I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty even, I'm going to give it to the bigger guy then. And then the other guy had more experience, and I was like, oh, if I knew that, I would have picked the other guy.
I would have made my bets on the other side.
The irony is that was the best match of the night. That was the only one that went to time. That was the only one that went to all 5 rounds. And it was ended by a judge decision.
Oh, wow.
It was a unanimous judge decision, because the dude who lasted the 5 rounds got a shit kicked out of him the whole 5 rounds, but I was still impressed that he lasted 5 rounds. It was Ryan. It was the guy who works with Matt Watson for Super Mega.
Ah.
And I wanted to see Matt Watson get the shit kicked out of him. I thought it would be funny. He seems like, because he looked really inexperienced and really unprepared, and he was going up against Dad, which I don't know if you know Dad, but he's like the greatest meme ever. He's just this really creepy dude who dresses up as a stereotypical, like, office dad.
So he's Dad.
And he literally just goes by Dad. And he's fucking insane. And they did the weigh-in, because they broke him into weight classes, and they did the weigh-in because they're similar weights. And, Matt Watson gets on there, and he's, skinny white kid 2.0. And fucking then Dad gets onto the scale, and he takes off his fucking, button-up shirt and tie.
And it's just fucking muscles?
He's ripped. Like, to the point where when I saw him, I was like, holy shit! And I'm like, Matt's gonna die!
He's got the dad bod!
It's like, Matt is gonna die! He looks like someone who's been working out non-stop for 3 years.
He looks like Dad. Oh, fuck.
Like, the minute I saw that, I was like, holy shit, Matt is gonna get fucking murdered. He didn't even last a full minute. He fucking... The match... in the weigh-in, they asked them questions to get them, like, rivaling with each other, and they go to have Dad do his thing, and Dad just goes, I am a man... He's like, Dad is perfectly designed to murder Matt Watson. And that's all he said the whole fucking thing. And what happened is, they rang the bell, he goes up to him, and just starts wailing on him. Just repeatedly, and Matt's like trying to cover up, and he's just wailing on him, wailing on him, and then the ref is just like, nope.
We're done.
They're done. I don't even think it lasted a minute. I think you took him out in like, literally under a minute.
What I love is watching that stuff, and it's just like... sometimes training is, that'll help.
Yeah.
But you just see someone who's completely just outclassed.
Oh, yeah. No, it was, like, I knew he was outclassed the minute he took his fucking shirt off. I was like, oh my god, Matt is gonna die. Oh, he's gonna fucking kill him. He's gonna actually fucking kill this man. Oh my god, Dad was, when he did the weigh-in too, he literally wore a shirt with fucking Matt's name on a tombstone on his shirt. So he takes off his button-off shirt and it has his name on a tombstone. He's like, oh, sorry. And he goes and takes off the shirt and then takes off his pants, and on the back of his underwear is the same tombstone. He's with his name on it. He's like, oh, my bad.
Fucking troll.
Oh, it's the worst one. Oh my god. The best trash talk was when Harley literally called everyone's Harley from Epic Mealtime called all of the Game Grumps fan base retards with a furry complex, which is hilarious and also kind of accurate.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Oh my god, the fan base was not happy.
I
Everyone
bet.
on Twitter was just like, "Oh, what an asshole! The fuck, Aaron's gonna kick your ass," and then I'm like, "Aaron is not gonna kick his ass." It's like,
It was
there's
at
no
that
way.
moment Aaron did not kick his ass.
There's no way. Aaron would have needed to train for a couple years and put on a couple more pounds, and I still think Harley would have beat the shit out of him. I still don't think it would have been close.
Yeah. What I don't think a lot of people understand is
Yeah.
a lot of these YouTubers and people, they'll talk the talk, but they cannot walk the
No.
walk.
I mean, I don't think Aaron thought he was going to win at all.
No.
I'm pretty sure he did it all because I was sitting there, I'm like, why did Aaron even agree to this? And then I saw the ring, and in all four sides of the ring, they had the logo for the Real Good Touring Company, which is Aaron's touring company. And I'm like, he did this for promotion then, for his touring company. That was the whole reason he did this. I'm like, he didn't think he was gonna win. He just did this as promotion for his company.
Yeah,
like,
without a doubt.
I'm like, I'll give Aaron anything, he is a shrewd and powerful businessman.
He is very good at that.
He is not a boxer, and I'm pretty sure he knew that from minute one.
He is very good at being a really bad a businessman.
He's really good. He's really good at being a businessman. The
Yes.
dude is a millionaire.
Yes.
But he became a millionaire by doing stupid shit. It's worked really well for him, so why stop now?
Exactly.
But yeah, fucking. What was the? There was only one other one that killed me, which was because I didn't know about this until I saw the weigh-in. And then I was like, wait, they got him? And he's fighting him? Are they fucking crazy? They put fucking... You know the Odd Ones Out?
I think so.
He's the Draw My Life animator guys.
Yes.
They got him to box I Did a Thing. And I'm just like, are you fucking nuts? So, for people who don't know I Did a Thing, because he's not nearly as popular as a lot of the people on there, although he is very popular, he's got a couple million subscribers. I Did a Thing is the definition of a mad lad. I Did a Thing is an Australian man who lives in Australia
You've already
and
broken
builds very dangerous equipment and always walks around barefoot
Oh, I think I know it's this guy, actually.
in Australia.
Okay. You got me
He
there.
walks around barefoot in Australia 24/7. And he builds dangerous... That's all he does. He just builds incredibly dangerous things. He built a giant Beyblade out of a saw blade.
I did a thing.
He created a ping pong ball that could be launched at the speed of sound. And then tried to hit it with a paddle. Which he successfully did, and it blew a hole through the paddle. And you're gonna put the Odd Ones Out up against this man? Like, do you want him to die?
This guy seems mentally up.
Like, out of all the people they had there, besides maybe Dad, I Did a Thing was the most dangerous man on the entire panel of people.
You don't know if he put something in his gloves?
Like, I was like, he doesn't even need to. Not only that, I didn't know this until they started boxing, because once they started boxing, I could tell immediately that I Did a Thing is also very clearly a trained boxer who's been doing it for years, because his stance was perfect the whole time. His form was perfect. The punches he was throwing, perfect. I'm like, this dude is trained. I watched the comments killed me. All the comments were just like, oh man, could you imagine if they didn't make I Did a Thing wear shoes? Like, imagine if they let him fight in his natural element barefoot. He would have been dead. They made him wear shoes. Like, everyone's wearing professional boxing, like, gear. He's literally wearing cargo shorts and a belt as his boxing gear. It's like, I'm like, he does not look like he belongs in this at all, and I guarantee you he could have beat up most of the card, like, himself, like, in any weight class.
He's without a doubt the definition
Just
of
so
a mad
prepared.
lad.
Dude, he spent more time fighting with the ref than he did the Odd Ones Out. Because he hit the Odd Ones Out point blank, 1-2, 2 punches in a row, like, both shots to the head, bang bang, no defense whatsoever. Odd One Out stumbles back, And the ref doesn't call it a knockdown or call the match, and he's like, dude, why are you not calling this? So he gets back in there, because the ref's like, keep going, and he gets back in there, bang, bang, punches him again, 2-2, right to the face, no blocking, and he's like, really? You're not gonna call this? Bang, bang, right to the face again, bang, bang! Every time he lands 2 to the face, boom, boom, you see him fucking stumble, and he just turns to the ref like, really? You're not gonna call this yet? Like, it's over. It's been over for 3 punches. I literally watched him land fucking bang, bang. I literally watched him land 1-2s to the face 5 times in a row before the ref called it, and the ref finally calls it, and I did a thing, just looks pissed. He's like, it really took you this long to fucking call this? Are you serious? He spent more time fighting the ref than he did fighting the odd ones out.
That is hysterical.
That was the funniest fight of the entire card, because there was no fucking way that the odd ones out was gonna even come close. But he just, like, you can tell that he just felt bad, because he literally, like, staggered him, and he's like, alright, call it. And he's like, refused to call it. He's like,
do you really want me to wail on this guy longer?
Like, he really, like, you could tell that I Did a Thing did not want to just wail on this dude, because he would do 1-2 and then stop. Like, completely stop punching him and be like, just fucking call it already.
That is ridiculous.
Like, there's so many times, like, if he was really going at it, he could have, like, 1-2 and then just got in there and just started wailing on him, and he would have had no defenses up, but he was just not
punches
willing.
To the face are good and all, but you do a couple rapid-fire punches to the stomach, that person's out. After a good punches to the face.
I'm pretty sure beforehand that they were just talking, and he was just like, have you ever boxed before? And the odd ones out was probably like, no. And he was just like, oh.
I'm sorry.
Alright, I'm gonna go easy on him then. Alright, I'm definitely going easy on him then, because he's gonna die.
Yeah, there's one of those things, this is like, you put somebody who's had some training behind them, behind a nobody's, and it's just like, yeah.
That was my favorite match of the entire card, though. Just because of the fact that he spent more time fighting the ref than he did the actual person he was boxing.
So, like real boxing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, fuck. But I just find that funny, because, you know, going back to...
I've returned, my planet no longer needed me.
Going back to when we were talking about, you know, people with professional fighters versus non-professional fighters.
Yeah.
You watch, like, go back and you look at the Colosseum.
Yep.
Roman Colosseum. And they're like, yeah, you know, we're putting slaves with barely any training against pro gladiators, and they'd get murdered all the time.
I can't imagine why.
It's almost like Gladiator's entire job was to murder.
The main event match was weird, because, like, it was IW's thing, so he was the main event match against this guy called Dr. Mike, who I've literally never heard of in my life. That's why I feel like no one had any interest in it, because I feel like most people, like, didn't know, like, half the card. The fuck?
You're forgetting this game is terrible.
Okay, alright, just throw it while he's in the middle. This is terrible. Alright. Yeah, it was like half the card, right? Was like nobody's. I feel like that most people haven't heard of, except for me and like a couple other crazies who know way too many internet creators.
Chris knows a little too many internet creators. Chris will say names to me and I'll be like, I know about them only because you've told me about them.
Dude, I mean, a lot of the card, like, not all of the card, but there was a good chunk of the card that I was like, I have no idea who this is. And then Miranda would be like, oh, they're from this thing. And I'm like, oh, I do know who this is, but I've never actually seen them. But yeah, fucking, the final match was weird, though, because it was iDubbbz versus the fucking guy, right? From Dr. Mike. And, like, I was like, alright, well... And then I saw Dr. Mike weigh in. He's a real doctor, by the way. He just does, like, doctor react videos on YouTube.
I think I've heard of him before.
And he was also ripped as shit. Like, just jacked beyond all belief. And I'm like, iDubbbz, this is your show. You could have picked anyone to fight. And you picked a dude who looks like he could rip your arms off. What are you doing?
He wanted to be interesting.
Yeah, apparently. Not only that, well, I guess iDubbbz trained for 2 years for this fight.
Ah.
Which, good for him, but he's still a terrible boxer. Those 2 years did nothing for him. He looked really bad out there. It's like they did nothing for him. Because they were like, oh yeah, Dr. Mike has years of boxing experience, and I'm like, and he's gonna fight him? And he's like, well, they have the same amount of time, 2 years, and I'm like, yeah, but iDubbbz has been training for 2 years. Mike over here looks like he's been boxing for 2 years. There's a huge difference between, it's literally the equivalent of just like, yeah, man, I built a car. I read all about how they're built on the internet. It's like, nah, you haven't built a car then. It's like, yeah, nah, you're gonna get your shit kicked, dude.
You're gonna get stomped over there, buddy.
Yeah, it's like,
you get stomped.
I'm like, it's like iDubbbz, what you needed was 2 years of professional boxing. And then maybe you would have stood a chance. Although, I will say though that Dr. Mike, as much as I did think it was funny, absolutely lost a ton of respect in that fight though, because he went to touch gloves, and right as he touched gloves with him, he threw a cheap shot and fucking jab at him right after the jab touch, and I was just like, whoa. I'm like, I laughed because it was funny, but I was like, whoa. I'm like, alright, come on, dude, buddy. You're a professional fucking boxer fighting a scrub, and you're fighting a scrub because you're killing him out there. And you're really gonna cheap shot him at the start of round 1? Like, you fucking serious? Like, what a douchey move. That's the kind of shit that, like, if someone did that to me in a boxing match, I would completely low blow them and be like, oh, my bad, I was going for a body shot. Like, I'd punch you right in the dick in the middle of the ring and be like, oh, my bad, I was aiming for a body shot. Because, like, you started it at that point. Like, fuck you. Like, I fucking uppercut you right in the dick.
Boom! Sorry, I was aiming for your stomach.
Sorry, I was aiming for your gut. Because they won't end a match. They'll deduct points. But at that point, I don't care about winning. I just care about hurting you because you're an asshole.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, I'm all about fighting fair and honest, but if you break the code of conduct, expect me to body slam your ass in a boxing fight.
Yeah, we didn't have a code of conduct, but it was unofficial.
Yeah.
We didn't have to say the code of conduct.
No, it's boxing. Fucking, they have code of conduct. There's, like, shit you just don't do because it's cheap. And if you're a trained boxer, you know that.
It's unofficial. Yeah. You don't do that shit.
Like, I'm the kind of person who's like, you do that, I punch you in the dick. You punch me in the dick, I literally grab onto you and body slam your ass to the canvas. In boxing.
Can't argue with that.
Like, I will get the entire match thrown out by putting you in a fucking armbar. I don't care at that point.
We'll turn it to wrestling?
Yeah, I will turn this into a UFC fight.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
Right? Like, that's just how it is. Like, there's just things you don't do.
You're gonna be that guy.
If you're gonna do it, play by the rules. And if you're not gonna play by the rules, expect them to not play by the rules either.
No, you didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition, but we got it.
Yeah. Like, there's accidents and there's doing shit on purpose. Like a low blow is one of those things that's like, alright, they might have done that by accident. Fucking, when you, like, touch gloves and immediately cheap shot me, that's doing shit on purpose and you know it.
Hells to the yeah.
It's funny, like, all the commentators on, too, who were, like, calling the match were just like, whoa. Like, all of them were like, you don't do that.
Yeah, that's very rude.
It's very uncalled for.
Very, very rude.
I will say it was definitely the funniest thing in the entire match. Because just the minute I saw it, I was like, whoa. Like, really?
Yeah, that's no fun. That's not cool, man.
I mean, it's funny because it's iDubbbz.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit about iDubbbz? But, like, you just don't do that.
Yeah, you're not... Don't be rude like that, guys. Don't be rude.
You just don't do that. So if I was iDubbbz, I would have... See, if I was iDubbbz, I would have, like, thrown an elbow. At that point, I would have been like, BAM! BAM! Oh, sorry, my bad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Like, I would have, like... Because they would have never seen it coming. I know, I just...
No, it's all good. No, Chris, it's okay, because it's going to die in one hit anyway.
See, if I was iDubbbz, because no one ever expects this in blocking, I would have went low, like I was going to like low block, and then I just would have come up and headbutted him with it. Boom! Right to the fucking sternum.
I don't think you're allowed to headbutt.
No, you're not allowed to headbutt.
But might as well.
But he cheap shotted me, so now I get
good.
cheap shotted.
Finally, we got flamethrower, Chris. We can finally replace Ember.
Finally, Jesus. Do 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 do. Ooh, I want to call it here, actually, in the middle of this fight. Alright, we'll have to pick it up in the next part. We'll see you guys then. Peace.